Hi, this is Nick, and we're just going to get right to it. Everyone drinks water, either you're on the go or playing a sport. It's really easy to just grab a bottle and walk out the door. But what if I were to tell you that one bottle could drastically affect this earth and your health? Today I'm doing my informative speech on plastic bottles and how they are bad for the environment and everything in it. I find this incredibly relevant because plastic degrades slowly and affects land, waterways, and ocean. And of course, who wants to be the last generation? I don't. I find myself incredibly credible on this subject because I have participated in Earth Day for the last couple of years now, and we've gone around Fort Madison, different parks and areas, and cleaned up trash, cleaned up bottles, which I find a lot of them, and I have a great time doing it. And I consider myself very eco-friendly. I recycle, and I try not to use plastic bags, reusable bags. They're great. So today in this speech, I will go over three main points: how bottled water affects the environment, how it affects your health, and what we do to stop pollution, or in this case, bottled waters. All right, bottled water is destroying our environment and, more importantly, our ecosystem. Most plastic bottles are not actually collected for recycling or reused to make new plastic. The production of plastic, especially bottles, has grown dramatically high in the last 2 decades. This is due to companies back in the 1940s making plastic out of petroleum products called polyethylene terephthalate, which requires giant amounts of fossil fuels to make and transport. Each year, 35 billion water bottles are thrown away. Of those, 8% are thrown onto the street. That's not bad, but 12% are recycled, compared to the other 80%, which end up in landfills. That's 2 million tons of bottles sitting somewhere where they're not needed. And the production of bottles themselves have been set to quadruple in the next 30 years. I found that information on The Problem with Bottled Water by Richard Dawlish, and also some of it on healthyhumanlife.com. They both had great information for them and everything. I found them incredibly relevant. I found an interview on The Guardian, great website, called "A Million Bottles a Minute: World's Plastic Binge as Dangerous as Climate Change." And the interview was with Hugo Tagholm. He is a marine conservation and he campaigns group surfers against sewage, and the figures that he found were devastating. The plastic pollution crisis rivals the threat of climate change, as it pollutes every natural system and an increasing number of organisms on planet Earth. He says that current science shows that plastics cannot be usefully assimilated and into the food chain, where they are ingested and carry toxins that work their way in our dinner plates. He also says that plastic production is set to double in the next 20 years and quadruple by 2050. And it's time to act on it. Okay. This is a big problem because water bottles do not biodegrade. Instead, they photodegrade. The next thing I'm going on are that bottles themselves could cause harm to your body and system. Bottled water affects your body with materials that you can't even see. One of those biggest materials is bisphenol A. It is the main target of criticism, and it's a compound that is synthetic and widely used as a starting material in most plastics. The suggestion is that it seeps out of the bottle and into the water itself, and then if you drink it, it's not very good. It can cause issues like diabetes and high blood pressure. It can also be found in children products, which are really scary if they get to them at a young age. That's not very good. Bisphenol has been banned in many countries even after rigorous testing. There are also microplastics that can get into your water. Microplastics are plastic pieces that are less than 5 millimeters long. They could be toxic to your stomach and could cause oxidation stress. Bigger pieces usually just leave your body, but it's the smaller pieces that get stuck inside your stomach lining and can make you really sick. One of the things that can cause these things to happen is the summer heat and warming up bottles, especially if you leave it in a car or out in a garage in like a really hot place. Not really direct sunlight, but a really hot place. That could cause the plastic to degrade. All right. And the third thing I'll cover is that we need to toss out our plastic habits, our bad habits. We should stop using plastic so much and stock our house with reusable containers and stainless steel bottles to fill water with instead of just grabbing one. You can also purchase a water filter and keep it in your fridge. It purifies your water and it's healthy for you. You can also find alternatives to like buying stuff, like instead of using plastic bags, you can use paper bags or reusable ones. You can also recycle. Recycling is just one of the best things around right now. And raise awareness to it. I myself have raised awareness at my workplace and gotten into recycle and different products to like give to people. In conclusion, we have covered what it can do to us, what it can do to our environment, and how we can get rid of it. How we can try to make this world a better place. Our generation can change pollution and plastic corruption for the next generation. So let's get started.